Well, hey folks, Species 7 here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Farm Sim 17. It is, of course, Farmer Andy's Hof Bergmann Reloaded map that we are on. And I am just finishing the last flinging on our last field. Now, it seems to me I missed a big spot over here where I was careening madly out of control. There it is. Okay. Well, we've got a little bit left. We might as well lay it down here. Actually, we got quite a bit left. There we go. As you can see, I have greatly increased our capacity for flinging. I've gotten us a much nicer manure spreader. There we go, and we are done. And to go along with it, I picked up a New Holland T7 as our... That is so weird, the way the tires rise back up. To be our MR-based big tractor, as it were. At least big enough for what we need so far. So that's it for the fields. I've done... this is field 22. And it's kind of tucked way down the hill from the farm. And it is a hill, believe me. You notice right away that this is not Pine Cove Productions, where it's all flat roads, and your biggest worry is turning too sharply because you get up so much speed. There's field 4. I've also spread the love there, as it were. Do hope everybody is having a wonderful, relaxing type of Boxing Day. Yes, indeed, it is Boxing Day 2017. So, congrats for getting through Christmas safely. Alright, as you can see, it does start to get a wee bit choppy up here. Even have a little bit of mud. Yes, indeed, a little bit of mud. And then, of course, fields 2 and fields 1. I started yesterday on screen. They are also done. So we're ready for the plow. However, there is one other thing I would like to do, and you can spot it from here. See that bale laying in the middle of the parking lot? Yeah. The final ingredient to throwing a little TMR together, seeing as there is a mixture. A mixer? Easy for me to say. Yeah, as there is a mixer to do it, I figured we might as well. I chucked a silage bale in there yesterday just because, well, it was on the forks when I realized that, oh look, I just bought 8 of something we already have 4 of. There we go. And, although it's certainly a bit much for this tractor, while we're here, I will use it to drag this little trailer back over to the other farm. Alright, so phase 1, the fertilization is down. Oh, got a little carried away with closing the gate that time. Alright. I'll get a little bit smaller, more maneuverable tractor for this next bit, I think. Oops. Okay. I don't really need to be packing. Oh, actually. Oh, no, it's what I thought. I don't really need to be packing pallet forks at the moment, so in fact I don't think I need to be packing a front loader on this at the moment. So, let's see if it'll let us unattach it. There we go. And that said, Reverse our weight. Okay. The trailer doesn't look so small now, does it? Now, I don't think, I'm just judging by the look of this particular machine and how it functions. Terrible place to put a big pothole. I gotta fill that. I think this should be pretty much an instantaneous process, i.e. once I throw the third ingredient in, it shouldn't have to wait to produce TMR. Because, I mean, all it's doing is grinding the materials that I'm putting in there, right? So, I was hoping I'd be able to jump up onto something and actually look inside it. Because, as you can see, I've thrown a bale of straw and a bale of silage. So, I still think it's funny that the 4,000 liter bales of straw, I can basically lift over my head. Any of the, even that guy with the small weight can flick a bale up over the top of it. And yet the silage weighs 1,000 liters less, and it's darn near impossible to pick up. So, it's just odd, you know? It's almost like they're measuring them by volume, and if that was the case, well, that doesn't really work either, because the silage bales seem to be physically larger than the bales of grass, hay, etc., straw. So, again, let's see about adding this last ingredient. Alrighty. Still got a little bit of snow sitting there, eh? Funny. Alrighty. See, again, 4,000 liters, like nothing, man. Huh. Thank you. Finally. Getting a hard time there getting it to hook onto the lip of the ye old forage king. Alright. So that should do it. That should do it. How are we doing here? Uh-oh. Okay, apparently it does take a little bit. Huh. I thought it would simply, you know, I mean, it's, if you look at these things, the ones you tow behind the tractor, you know, as you drop them in, it starts spinning up the mixers and away they go. So it doesn't actually take any time to produce anything. As it shouldn't. Like I said, all it's doing is big grinder blade there, big grinder blade there. As you throw things in, it mixes it together. I think that's why they call it mixed ration. I really hope that you don't have to get these dead even. because to do that I would have to have 4 bales of silage, 3 bales of hay, which, by the way, translator dude, is an A, not an E. And yeah, and I can't do that because it'll only hold 10,000 liters. Yeah, I don't know. It should simply mix what's there. Maybe like most things on these maps, it takes it a couple seconds to start up. I don't know. And unfortunately, it's too high to actually get a look into. Oh, there we go. Whoa. This definitely looks like TMR. I don't know why it won't make its way to the edge. Interesting. Well, not really interesting. Well, I guess all we can do is come back for it. I don't see any sort of thing else that you need to do. It should have what it has. So let's ignore it for a few minutes and see if, like, you know, the wood plant and things like that, it just simply takes un momento to get started. So next on the list, bum bum bum. Hello up there. Now, I was originally just simply going to grab the culti plow, but as good as a thing it is to get it done so quick in one step instead of two, it also seems to have its issues. Although they probably don't really apply to me here, because we're not going to be doing very much in the way of hired workers due to the shapes of the fields. Now, I could of course simply throw on courseplay and do it that way, but I'm a bit of an idiot when it comes to courseplay and have very little idea how to use it, so I may in fact, after this episode, I might load it in and just play around with it a little bit, see what I can get. Because there's going to be just way too much to do otherwise, I think, you know. Yeah, he's got no problem with this plow. I could have probably gone with the larger one. It's in the horsepower range. The only problem I find with these Yimpa or Jimpa or whatever type plow they are, that I find with that is the largest one, even on a tractor this size, even if I put like the big, you know, 1600 kilo or whatever weight on the front of it, every time you hit a little bump, because those things are where they are, the tines are so long, it grounds out and digs into things to the point where sometimes it's almost impossible to get anywhere. So yeah, not a big fan of that particular part of them. But other than that, they're wonderful. I don't think I've found any other plows that are quite as that have the size to them, you know, and are still as easy to use, where you're not trailing something that's 20 feet long and isn't actually lined up until you've dragged it 30 feet to get it to come up parallel to where it's supposed to be. And yeah, a little beyond my kin, I'm afraid. Just a little. Yep. Going a little sideways. I'm thinking it probably wouldn't hurt me to do a bit of a headland, especially since we're about to come up against a tree and, you know, things like that. So let's see how we do here. Run around the outside a time or two. Makes for some ugly plow tracks, but woohoo. I don't think that'll be the make or break of the map. We get pretty little rows of plow furrows. I bet those are going to give us some nice shade here when they get leaves. Hey, look, we have the rock mod. No, we actually don't. Never did get converted, unfortunately. It's too bad. It was an interesting mod. I mean, not something you'd want to be using on a map like this in particular. You know, I think there's more than enough to keep you occupied, but certainly for the smaller farms where you're using, you know, small gear, just like, well, maybe not to the same extent, but just like Seasons and MR, that added a real stage of realism to your map, you know. Especially if your first time through you set it so it had maximum rocks, and the next time you use the field you set it for sort of the next level down, and then, you know, by the time you've gone 3 seasons on a field you could set it to the very minimum one, so very rarely you'd pull up a rock or two on your field. It really, as I say, added another dimension to it. Alright. One thing I really am starting to wonder, though, when I look at this map, and then I think about the other one we're doing, Pine Cove Productions, the thing of it is, and I'm sure all of you are aware of that, farm sim takes time. It takes a lot of time. Now, I mean, I suppose if you course played, you know, 8 fields at a time, you could get way more stuff in the same physical period of time get done than I am. But it still takes a lot of time. You know, for a half-hour episode, I'm going to do, well, the original half-hour filming, of course. Then it's, well, I've told you guys about this before, right? You're probably looking at 40 minutes or a little longer of, you know, getting the post done and the rendering, and then you got the upload and all that. But the other thing is, of course, is generally, you know, we had about this much of this field covered in poop when I ended the last episode. So the other 3 fields I did off camera this morning, and, you know, it took me hour and a half. Not that big a deal. But, so there you've actually got 2 hours to make this half-hour video. Right? And then, like I said, another, you know, let's say hour to round it off of rendering. So there's 3 hours into Farm Sim, you know. And it doesn't get me any further on the other map. You know what I mean? Like, before I do another episode of Pine Cove Production, you know, I'm going to go in and finish off whatever it is we were doing originally and, you know, get the next thing started or set up or whatever the case is. And that's alright when I'm doing a small map and a big map, but I'm really hoping it doesn't become just a little bit too much doing the 2 larger, you know, full production type maps. But if it does, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. You know, I don't want to stop on the Pine Cove because, well, if nothing else, I am determined to get the last achievements in Farm Sim, which, as I told you guys, is the breeder's achievements. I've done everything else. Lord knows I've plowed, seeded, and planted, or plowed, seeded, and cultivated enough fields to get all of those sort of things. And then some. So, yeah. It's just a matter now of getting the breeders. And this map is going to take a while. because I don't know if it's going to count like the whole piglet thing as being breeding on the pigs. I have a feeling it's talking standard pig breeding. I think I want a wider headland on this end, just because of all the trees. Just because of all the trees. That's better. Patch. Oh boy. I really do like these Dukes fire tractors. Very, very nice bits of kit they are. Very nice indeed. Oof, much brighter inside. Must be one of those sunroofs that actually amplifies the sun. Yep, definitely. It's got that high definition glass in it, eh? Why does it feel like we're tipped up on two wheels? Oh, we're just on a really, really funky bit of ground, eh? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, there's quite a little Humpty Dump right there. It does actually rock the tractor up on three wheels. Okay, I thought it was. When I was in the cab, it really felt like the front had come right off the ground. Whoops. It would help if you drop your plow into the dirt there, young fella. Yeah. Boom. Oh, wiggle and a wobble and a wee will fall down. There we go. Let's get rocking here before I end up heaving out the window. It really must have been on the balance point once we dropped that plow down. Changed the C of G, as it were. Oh, God, you could spend the entire day just reading all the buttons and knobs in this thing. This must be a pretty deluxe version to have all this wondrous kit on board. I know if it was a car, they'd sure charge you for every one of them extra buttons and switches. Ooh, 12 volt. It's got a little charging outlet there. Don't want your cell phone running low on you while you're... doubt that's what it's... Well, actually, I don't know. Could well be, I suppose. Probably a pretty important thing, I'll bet. Most farmers, at least on larger farms, are using all kinds of fancy... electronic gadgets to get the work done these days, as opposed to just eyeing the post on the other end of the field and driving toward it. And that's great. That is progress, I suppose. Even this thing struggles a little bit with some of these, some parts of this field. Done a really good job on the fields. They have nice contour to them. This end of the field, boy, I'll tell you, there is some serious little Humpty Dumpties going on. Now I'm going to get to the end of this road, then we're going to take a little waddle back over to the farm and see if that mixer thing has come on. I'm sure most of you already know whether it has or not, but hey, I don't. No sirree, Bob. So we'll come back to that. Un momento. Well, the birds are singing. Well, they could have put this at the farthest end of the farm. Oh wait, they did. There's our little bucky truck. I like that thing. That's pretty cool. You gotta afford a little bit of oil for them hinges, man. Did I leave my tractor running? No, I don't see no smoke coming out of the thing. Oh, it's this thing. It's working. See the dust coming out the top? Very cool. We have 2,500 liters. Excellent. So it is working. It just took a little while to... Oh, there we are. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright. Well, yada nada. Ain't that something? So, could I have that? Woohoo! TMR. Excellent. There's our cows. Hello, cows. Oh yeah, we get a tip right away, eh? Nice. There you go, guys. What do you think? Let's have a look at your situation. There we are. Woohoo. Nice. They still need grass, though, eh? Huh? We're getting there. 69%. Why? Why only 69%, guys? I got you some of this and some of this. Some power food, 937. I give you 2,500 for heaven's sakes. Huh. Well, that's odd. That is odd. Oh, that might be a pickup point. I probably shouldn't park in there. I keep forgetting that's actually a working little functioning factory thing, isn't it? Alrighty. Well, good enough. Boink, boink. Alright, so... should make much pleased the cows. No, you guys don't need this yet? Huh. Well, I always assumed they just rubbed underneath these. I didn't know they had to, like, spin and stuff. Cool. That thing's pretty loud. Water, straw, yeah, it's just grass we're missing. Oh, they're producing milk, look. Milk. Woohoo! And a little bit of, alright, well, that's great. That is great. Good to see. Alright, guys, I think I'm going to end the episode there. I'm actually, of course, going to run back across the length of the field here and Hello, chickens. I am going to get to you guys, I promise. Maybe next episode we'll go fetch you some baggies of food. Figure all of that out. But I have many a field to plow. So, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, well, please find it in your hearts to hit that like button. Till next time, guys, take care of each other. This has been Species 7 on Farmer Andy's Hof Bergmann Reloaded. Take care, and ciao for now.